What's happening? Andy here. I'm joined today by Fernando of Brother. How are you, Fernando? What's happening?
Very good. Happy to see you again. I mean, I've been with Brother now for 2 years. We met when I just joined, so it's great talking to you again.
Yeah, you were brand spanking new when we saw you, and that was at a big dealer meeting, right? You guys had a big dealer meeting. It was at Torrey Pines, I think, out in California. Epic meeting, great meeting. You
Do you
probably
remember the slogan, Big Bold Brother?
Yep, yep. It
Bigger,
was it
bolder
was a
brother.
great meeting, and you must have changed your opinion a little bit about the company over the last 2 years because not every day has been a whirlwind, exotic golf outing at one of the most beautiful, prestigious public courses in the country. So, but let's catch up. It's been 2 years since we've seen each other. Tell us first. Let's talk a little bit about Brother and the dealer reseller channel, and tell us what type of company Brother is, and then maybe a little bit of background on what you do with Brother. What's your role there?
Right. Yeah. So I'm the senior director for the B2B product marketing team. So basically SMB enterprise, and I'm responsible for not only the products but the solutions and programs that we deliver to this market.
Very cool. And so, Brother, really known for A4 office equipment in our world, right? A lot of people watching this are going to be office equipment resellers, the dealers. A lot of A3 companies that over the years got pushed into A4, and they've been looking for partners. And one of the ones they seem to have found over the last couple of years is you guys. That dealer meeting was just an eye opener for me. I'm sure for you, being your first meeting, big meeting with the company. But it's one thing to hear you've signed up dealers, you've got a bunch of resellers selling for you. It was another thing to see that room filled with people, some really big ones. I saw some really big ones out there. And first, some I didn't realize they were selling you. Others, I just was impressed that they took the time to come to this meeting. There were dozens and dozens. I don't remember. It was a few hundred, at least a couple hundred dealers, if I remember correctly. You had a big presence from Xerox. I wasn't aware Xerox was a big partner of yours, but they are, right? There were a lot of, I guess, there the XPS locations. Some of them are selling you, and it was kind of neat to hear the story on how that all came together at some point, and you guys went from being competitors to being partners essentially over a big deal that they won down. I think it was in Texas or something. Um, anyway, let's back up and maybe talk a little bit about what you've been working on in your 2 years and some of the solutions. And we think of Brother, we think A4, right? You guys are a monster in that area. You are one of the world leaders, and your products are great. They're very, very, I don't want to say simple. They just work, right? They're you don't have massive screens on some of them. You just have just enough what they need. You keep the price where it needs to be. And they work. They're just very reliable. They're known to just, need very little maintenance. And so, it's no surprise to me that the dealers have gravitated towards this. And we lost an OEM in our space a few years ago. So you really filled the void and you kind of picked up the torch and ran with it, but you do a lot more than just printers. So let's talk about some of the other things that you've been working on and some of these things that are
Yeah, sure.
available to the resellers. So why don't we go from there?
Yeah, but first let me just you mentioned something that's very interesting. I mean the relationship with the A3. So there is a market dynamic, right? I mean where the market is being favorable for broader A4 is growing. That's great. And some of those manufacturers they don't have a good A4 line, and that's what we do, right? I mean we don't compete with them. We don't have A3. We don't sell direct, right? I mean we just sell through our channel prayer for them, and basically we are a great partner for them to partner with. So for me it was a surprise as well, as was just joining the company and coming from an A3 company,
Hmm.
and then see that symbiosis, let's say, between A3 and A4, and being broader, building this A4 commercial business. Now, for the last 10 years, we're now at the stage where we can say we have a great product that really complements the A3. We know A3 is still there. It's important for them. It's profitable for the dealers from a financial perspective. But A4 is getting more terrain. So basically, we complement it very well and makes sense, right? So that's why. But we know A4. We know what we're doing. The important thing is we come from retail. We know that's our heritage, right? And we're very proud of that. But uh, is working. I'm not talking about the U.S. only, but I mean globally and especially in Japan, our headquarters. We've been creating B2B products now for more than 10 years. So today I can say, and by in that meeting, in the that event that you've been, Big Boulder Brother, I mean, we're really launching our first enterprise color laser machine. So that shows a little bit where we get now, what we can provide to the channel. So that was, I think, a big milestone. But that was 2 years ago now, right? So we keep moving. And one thing we did, I mean, I did in those last 2 years is first understand who we are, right? So what's our value proposition? The first one you just mentioned are the products. We're getting better on A4, getting to the enterprise space, especially in the color products, and have great products and solutions. So that's the pillar number one. But there is a little bit more than we do. So we have people, right? I mean, people that every time in that event and other events, I ask our channel partners, what do you love about Brother? The products are great, but what do you really crave about Brother? They say, people. I mean, whatever is a sales manager, whatever is the field sales engineer team, whatever is the product manager team, I mean, product management team, they love the support we provide them. We have MPS specialists to help them doing assessments. So the service we provide them is something that they value a lot.
Can you can
And
you can you just stop it and maybe talk a little bit more about the MPS assessments that you help out with? Because I wasn't aware of that, and that's I'm sure that's very important to a lot of people watching this. So
right,
you actually have people that come out with your your dealer partners, and you can help them like on a big assessment, not maybe some little one, but a big
correct.
enterprise hospital. How does
They
that work?
Yes, they do assessments typically, but when we show them our tool that we have, how we do that, they say, "Wow, that's amazing!" And whenever they need, we are there for them. We say, "Don't worry, we can help you out. We just need obviously the data, like it can be a
Yep.
DCA or a list of the equipments. Then we run the assessment, and that's the best way to start a conversation with any customer. When you show the complexity of the business, and by the way, we did a nice ebook talking about last year. We did more than 100 assessments, much more than that. But I mean, we have the data we collected from them. We're going to be surprised. I mean, the complexity first, which is typically those end customers, they have 5 different brands. Then they have 20 different models. Can
Hmm.
you imagine supplies, consumables? They have how you manage that? So the first is the complexity of the business. The second one, sometimes they underutilize some products. So why you have that product when you can have another one that does the same? I'm not saying that we should replace all the product, but sometimes identify you have actually a product that we can replace for a better one, faster, cheaper one. And also security. You're going to be amazed about the results in security. They have you have a joke here at the Broad. We say sometimes we have customers who have printers that are going out to college. They are 17 years old. I mean,
There's no
so
security on those. That's the only, that's got to be one of the biggest reasons to do an upgrade at this point is that,
correct.
after a certain amount of time, the OEMs, not just you, everybody, they stop support on older devices and you can't get those updates. And now you're wide open, right? And I mean the
Correct.
ransomware we're seeing everywhere. So
Correct. So, but basically, what we do, we untap, we unveil the problems, and then together with the channel partner, we define the strategy, how to present that to the end customer, right? What do you want to achieve with that? What are your goals, right? I mean, so we do that together with the channel, and they love it. So that's one of the services we offer. And so when I say people, I'm talking about those kind of services that our channel partners love as well.
very cool. And so these are all services like, helping out the dealer. This is something they get in touch with their representative, and that person will put them in touch with an MPS specialist or maybe another technology specialist. We spent a lot of time talking about A4, and by the way, that's the place to be right now, right? I mean, if you're in print, A3 is obviously the bread and butter for these guys, for these resellers, but we've all seen the needle. And it's been heading towards A4 for many years, and the pandemic did nothing but push that right over the top. So you guys are sitting in a great spot for that. And there's only so many vendors that offer it, right? So that's
Yeah,
reason one why I
but one
think,
important thing, Andy, sorry to
yeah.
interrupt you, is to really understand where the dealers are coming from, right? I mean, they're coming from a three world that's very profitable for them. So we need to be very sensitive how we approach them, right? I mean, they need a four, and we're glad to help, right? But we need to understand where they come from, and then
Yeah.
together define the right strategy and move forward. So that's an important aspect
So
when
coexisting.
correct.
You're big on coexisting, which obviously, for these guys, that's what you want to do because I mean, like I said, bread and butter is A3. You're not here to take it away. You're here to, help build on top of that. Other products that you have, I know scanners, label printers. How do these all fit into the picture? And it kind of makes you unique, some of these products, because a lot of your competitors, your print competitors especially, most of them don't offer some of these other solutions. So let's talk
Yeah.
about some of these other products that you have.
Yes, we have different divisions within Brother. One of them is basically what you said, the labels and the mobile printers that we have, as well plotters. We don't say plotters anymore. We say large format.
Yeah.
So we have different products that complements the printing offer that we offer. But printing for commercial business, that's basically what I'm responsible for.
Printing for commercial business. So you mentioned before we start recording, so there's two groups that you were managing, and one is, am I understanding this right? One was like a retail side, and then one was the group that interfaces with the dealers. Am I painting that
Oh, no,
correctly?
well, yeah, no, that's more like on the sales side. So
Okay.
on the sales side, it's still B2B. So we have the consumer team, the Soho team, that they are working with a different division, by the way, inside Broader, that
Okay.
create products for retail. So they work on that. But my team and the Cathy DiMaggio team, which are responsible, the VP responsible for commercial sales, we are responsible for the entire B2B environment. So under sales, under Kathy, she has today two groups. One is the channel team, the strategic channels, and the other one, they have other teams, but I mean, those are the main ones. And we have also what we call the major account team, right? So they are, that fits on people as well, the pillar was talking about, because they are here to help the channels to better understand vertical markets, to better understand the end user needs, to be in touch. I mean, we don't sell direct, right? But I mean, we
Yeah.
need to understand the market we're going after together with the channel partners. So that team is really the team that help us to create the strategies around especially vertical markets. We're very good, let's say, on retail. We're very good on education. We're very good on healthcare. And by the way, when I say those verticals, there are sub verticals, right, that we identify with the support of this team. So that's basically the team I was talking to you about, which is the major account team that are salespeople that talks to the end customer, but we don't sell to them. We help the major the channel team to actually sell to them, the channel to sell to them. So that's another important aspect of the people pillar was talking about. And we have a third one we didn't talk, which is programs, but we can go back to that later. And I just want to finalize the people value part of the value proposition.
So healthcare is a biggie. Education's a biggie. Retail, obviously, that's kind of where you really cut your teeth. I think you're known for retail, right? Um, and
Yeah,
these are,
and that's interesting. If you allow me, let me share a
yeah,
story because 2 years ago, as I joined a brother, I asked about our customers and especially enterprise customer, because for me, we're on this journey, right, to building this commercial enterprise team and products and so on. And so we have big logos. Unfortunately, some of those logos, we don't have their authorization to talk about, but I mean, we will. But
you shared
basically,
them with me offline though, and they were big logos.
yes.
I will attest to the fact that there were some really good ones in there.
But one thing I realized is we're very good what I call now multiple location. So we have great retailer customers, which is basically apparel, home, specialty stores, and so on. Food, I mean restaurants, fast food. We have, if you can imagine any logo, it's ours. That's basically what it is. And then we can talk about service like post, notary, tax preparation, banks, insurance, and hospitality like front desk, business center, auto parts, car dealers, rental, healthcare like dental, clinic, vet, pharmacies. So all of those customers, they have one thing in common. First, they are enterprise customers. They buy more than thousands of printers for sure. But the difference is that it's not thousands of printers for one location, typically the headquarter. It's 1,000 printers for 1,000 locations. So that we're going to study a better name, but basically that's what Broad is very good at. So they need to have those printers. Imagine a franchise fast food, right? They have 2,000 restaurants and they don't have IT people there, right? I mean, who's
Nope.
going to receive the printer is probably the restaurant manager. So they need to unbox the machine and they need to set up the machine. So that machine needs to be very simple to install, to connect, and that's done. That's what we do well. To deploy, how you push firmware, right, to 2,000 locations in different levels of complexity in terms of networks, right? Because the master franchise has one kind of network, then the master franchise has another one, then the small franchises. So it's a complex environment that our team knows how to do it very well. How to deplete, right? How to really install those machines on thousands of locations. So that's for just the installation. Then you have obviously how you're going to post service that, right? So typically what we have is we have a warranty that can be up to 3 years warranty if it's under one of the programs that we have. We call the exchange warranty. So if you're an enterprise customer, you can have the product exchange overnight. Can you imagine that? So no questions asked. I mean, just we realized the printer has a problem. We just swapped the printer, right? We just exchanged, and the other day received a new one. And then remotely, we configure to the same configuration that it was before. So that's a part of what we really do well, which is how we serve those remote locations. So that's something that really caught my attention, and we're really very good on that. And as I said, our heritage is from retail, so we have that from retail. So, but we're applying that into commercial business space, and our customers just love it.
Very cool. Well, it's something it's new to them, right? They haven't seen that kind of approach before. So it's and it's a good approach. Obviously, it's working for you in one area, so why not bring it to another? Going forward, we're a little more than halfway through the year. I know we saw you guys at a BTA. I'm sure we'll be seeing you at some more events going forward. Are we looking at any new products from your group? Anything coming by the end of the year? You don't have to say what, but is there anything fun?
We always have products in the pipeline. I mean, we
Yep.
can disclose what's next, but I mean, so when we met 2 years ago, we just launched the Color Enterprise product, right?
Yep.
That was 2 years ago. Last year, I mean, still today, we're replacing our main black and white SMB enterprise products. And for next year, we have others to come. So that's a part of our regular pipeline. We're always investing in new products, new programs as well. So that's part of our business. But just going back to the multiple location,
Yeah.
one interesting thing that is happening right now is some of those customers saying, I don't use Brother, but I'm seeing what you guys are doing in the multiple locations. And to be honest, when I have 500 printers in the same office, in the same building, I don't want to go to every single of them to make changes in configurations.
Hmm.
So they are considering us now also for the headquarters. So that's very interesting move as well. So enterprise is a place where we're going to. So we started with a small, medium business, but we're quickly rapidly advancing to the enterprise arena as well.
Well, I mean, you start with the hardware and then you start customizing it with software and you make it more usable for these different markets, right? And it's interesting to me because a lot of companies, started with the big software, with the enterprise software, and then tried to push it down, rather than your approach, which is, let's start with the smaller software and grow it into something bigger, and now move from SMB into which has, more basic, more simple needs than enterprise. But now once you have something there, you can go upstream And now you're talking, like you said, hundreds, if not thousands of machines at a time, and needs are different. Like you definitely don't want to go machine to machine when you've got hundreds of units in an office. So these are different needs and different requirements. So it sounds like you did some homework and talked to some enterprise customers and found out, what you need to do to play in that field.
Yeah, and another thing that they love as well is sometimes they say, well, can I do some custom UI on the LCD, for example? So yes, we can. Can we put our logo? So yes, but we can do more than that. For example, if this department always scan that to a specific folder, let's say, and this folder, every time you scan goes there, I mean, we can create different folders for you to make the workflow a little bit faster. So when they realize we can do that, we don't charge for that. All we want is really to engage with the customer the best way as we can. That's also part of the people pillar we're talking about. So
Yeah.
this kind of service, we don't charge for that. So when they learn about that, I mean, that's the sweet spot for us and something that they really like it.
Well, it's sort of that one-on-one, you know, touch with the dealer to help them customize their products or, I mean, whether the customer puts that logo on or whether maybe the dealer puts his logo on,
Yeah.
you're there to show them how to do it and hand in hand walk them through the process.
And you're right, and the dealers are perceiving that. So now they see us as really someone who can help them, right? I mean, to create some differentiation.
It's
So they
branding,
don't
right?
see,
It's branding.
yes, they see that as let's say an opportunity for them. So just like I was talking about the exchange policy that we have at the beginning, they kind of ask, well, but we do break and fix. Well, now you have a different option and you can still do the break and fix. You can still have the white glove, but we can help you. So now they are understanding our proposition and they're embracing that. And now they see how it can help them to be even more successful in that environment.
Well, especially in a remote location. I mean, if you've got a customer that's a 2 hour, 3 hour drive, you don't want to send a tech out there because the A4 product needs new rollers or just something.
And you just remind me one thing. Some of those dealers, they're regional, right? I
Yeah,
mean, they are in Florida, they are in Northeast or Northwest, wherever it is. But when you have this kind of solution that you can deploy remotely, that you
anywhere.
can do the break and freeze, the replacement remotely, and then they can expand their business as well nationwide, right? So
Yeah.
that's another aspect that we're seeing for collaborating with them.
Yeah, it's
By
awesome. It's
collaborating.
very interesting program you guys have built. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your schedule to sit down with me and kind of go over this. This was really, really cool. You guys have been you've been on fire for a couple of years now, and we've just seen you popping up at a lot of dealers. Uh, and there's a reason for it, right? You've got a good product, you got a lot of momentum behind you at the moment. And you've got, a company that's looking at this opportunity. It's just you look at the dealers in our channel and we're, 6, $8 billion dealers worth of revenue and just the top 20, 30 dealers, right? Or maybe a little bit more than that. But obviously brother wants a piece of that and you've got a lot of products that fit nicely into that ecosystem. So good job on the last couple of years. I look forward to, watching where you go from here and we'll check in a few months. I'm sure I'll see you at a BTA or something coming up here or there. Or at least some of your people. But any last words, anything you want to leave us with before we wind
No,
up?
no, I mean, to summarize what we're doing. So we created this division called Brother for Business. We are for business, we mean business. And the value proposition is very simple. It's about great products, right? Enterprise level products, the people at your side, which is our logo, our
Brother at your
mantra.
side, yeah.
Yes, and the third one are the programs. So by creating those three elements, I think we have a very strong value proposition for Brother for Business. So that's I mean, my final statement, I would say, and very nice talking to you again, Andy. I mean, it was great to learn from you as well as I was starting this new position. I mean, I've been in the market for a long time, but I was always in Latin America. And for me, to know more about this market was fantastic. And thank you for your support as well.
Oh, anytime, Fernando. It was a pleasure catching up with you, and we'll check in a little sooner than 2 years. How about We
That's
get
great.
together
Yeah,
in a
you're
few
right.
months and see what else is going on at Brother. But you guys have a lot of momentum. Keep it up, and you're doing big things. So it's been fun watching you as you entered into this market. I mean, you really had zero presence a few years back, and you know now you're
Well,
just showing
that
up
I
all
cannot
over.
say it's me. I mean, I have a great team. I mean, we have a great team at Brother. They are working very hard for the years building Brother for business. So
Yeah,
it's
I
not
mean, you
something
killed
that
it in these
happened.
other markets. I'd seen you at hotels that I would go to. You were huge in retail, like we mentioned in this call. But in our channel, it was just just sort of why didn't they ever come in here earlier? And suddenly you did, and here we are. So
Yeah,
great
it
job.
doesn't happen overnight, but I mean, we're
Oh
working on
no,
that.
it takes effort, especially in this channel with these dealers. They're very they're locked in on their partners. So to get their attention, you have to do a good job. And based on the people I saw in that room at your dealer meeting 2 years ago, and I'm sure you signed a bunch more since then. You guys are doing really well. So it was great catching up, and we'll get together. We'll talk soon. Thank you, Fernando.
Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.
You too.